Hi students, here I am with the lecture number 8 on moving charges and magnetism, and today we have got only two concepts to be learned. One is about the conversion of galvanometer into ammeter, and another one is the conversion of galvanometer into voltmeter, and of course we will also learn about the differences between the ammeter and the voltmeter. So we've got only few objectives for today's class. One, the conversion of galvanometer into ammeter, conversion of galvanometer into voltmeter, and the differences between the ammeter and the voltmeter. Only few things to be learnt, and they are easy also, and of course important also. Now, coming to this one, see, galvanometer basically is a device used to detect and measure very small currents. Very small currents of the order of 10 to the power minus 3 ampere and 10 to the power minus 8 ampere. Maximum you can measure is only about milliamperes. Suppose if you want to measure 1 ampere, 2 ampere, or more than milliampere, so you cannot use the galvanometer because galvanometer cannot do that. So therefore, we have to convert the galvanometer into ammeter. So basically, ammeter is a current measuring device, and you can measure even amps. So therefore, we have to convert the galvanometer into ammeter. So this galvanometer cannot withstand large currents because it is very sensitive. You know that moving coil galvanometer, it is very sensitive, and therefore it cannot withstand large currents. If large current flows, then because it is very sensitive, deflection will occur, and the inside the galvanometer, the other parts, because they are sensitive, they are overreactive. Therefore, what we do is this: we convert the galvanometer into ammeter by connecting a very low resistance in parallel to the galvanometer. So if you connect a low resistance, observe here, this is galvanometer. Let us assume that this is a galvanometer of resistance G. Here, just imagine G is the resistance of the galvanometer, and suppose if I allow this main current I to flow only through the galvanometer, because it is sensitive, it will be overreactive, and the parts gets damaged. Therefore, what we do is this: we connect a small resistance, a low resistance, in parallel with the galvanometer. This low resistance, which is connected in parallel with the galvanometer, is called shunt, and this entire arrangement we call it as ammeter. This galvanometer along with this shunt is called ammeter. Now what happens, because the resistance is very less, out of this main current which is coming, only a small current flows through the galvanometer, and the entire remaining current goes through the shunt. The current divides here, the current branches here. So therefore, understand that I is the current coming, only a small part of the current goes here, and maximum part of the current goes here because the resistance is less. You know that two resistors when connected in parallel, suppose if the resistance is very less, most of the current flows through this one. Therefore, it so happens that the current flowing here, the main current coming here, only some little current flows through the galvanometer, and the maximum part of the current goes through the shunt. So therefore, our device is also safe. So now see that the current flowing through the galvanometer, that is Ig, is also proportional to the main current. If this main current increases, the current flowing through the galvanometer also increases. So therefore, we can even measure the current also. So what I am trying to tell you is this: here, if the current flow in the galvanometer increases, then I is more, or if I is more, the current through the galvanometer also will be more. That means I is proportional to Ig, or current flowing through the galvanometer. So that is one important thing that you have to remember. So therefore, the galvanometer can be converted into ammeter by just connecting a very small resistance in parallel with the galvanometer, and that small resistance we call it as shunt. Shunt is the small resistance that we have to connect with the galvanometer, in parallel with the galvanometer, so that the galvanometer behaves as a ammeter. So that is an important thing. Now notice that you just keep in your mind this galvanometer. This is galvanometer of resistance capital G. Here is the shunt of resistance S, and the current flowing through the galvanometer we call it as Ig. Ig is the current flowing through the galvanometer. I minus Ig is the current flowing through the shunt, because if Ig goes, I minus Ig goes through, yes, if Ig goes through the galvanometer, I minus Ig goes through the shunt. That's it. So the current flowing through the galvanometer is Ig, current flowing through the shunt is I minus Ig. Okay, so this is one thing. Now we design this entire thing, we call it as ammeter. So okay, now check this one. Since the galvanometer and the shunt are connected in parallel, the potential drop across the shunt is equal to potential drop across the galvanometer, which means, check this one, the PD, because the two resistors, you just imagine these two as resistors only. When two resistors are connected in parallel, you know that the potential drop across the two resistors will remain same, because they are in parallel. So when two resistors are in parallel, the potential drop remains same, and therefore the potential drop across the shunt is equal to the potential drop across the galvanometer. The PD, what is the potential drop? Current into resistance. I minus Ig into S is equal to Ig into G. I minus Ig into S, this is the current through the shunt. S is the value of the shunt, is equal to Ig is the current through the galvanometer, and G is the resistance of the galvanometer. Don't confuse. G is not the galvanometer here. G is the resistance of the galvanometer. So if you simplify this equation, you will get S is equal to Ig into G divided by I minus Ig. S is equal to Ig into G divided by I minus Ig, which means S is the shunt required to convert the galvanometer into ammeter to read a current equal to I ampere. So that means if you want to read a current which is equal to I ampere, S is the shunt required. S is equal to Ig into G divided by I minus Ig. Ig is the current flowing through the galvanometer, and in fact it is the current flowing through the galvanometer for full scale deflection. Full scale deflection. What do you mean by that? I'll tell you later. So Ig is the current flowing through the galvanometer producing full scale deflection. G is the resistance of the galvanometer. I is the main current or the total current that is flowing through the that is to be measured. S is equal to Ig into G divided by I minus Ig. Okay. So this is the principle of the shunt. Now we will see next point, important points about the ammeter. See that because the two resistors, I mean two things, one the galvanometer and the shunt, they are connected in parallel. The total resistance of the ammeter is Gs divided by G plus S, because both are connected in parallel. Suppose if you consider an ideal ammeter, the resistance of an ideal ammeter is 0. Practically ammeters should have very low resistance. Now you know that, say for example, if 1000 ohm is connected in parallel with 1 ohm, the effective resistance will be less than 1 ohm. You know that when two resistors are connected in parallel, the resistance will be, effective resistance will be less than the least. For example, if 1000 ohm is connected in parallel with 1 ohm, the effective resistance will be less than 1 ohm. Less than 1 ohm, you can calculate 1000 ohm and 1 ohm. The effective resistance will be less than 1 ohm. Similarly, your galvanometer will have a resistance of around 50 ohms or 50 to 100 ohms, and the shunt will be very less, around say 0.2 ohms, 0.3 ohms, like that. So the effective resistance now will be less than 0.2 or 0.3 ohms, less than S, I mean less than the shunt. So effective resistance of the ammeter will be less than the shunt. So therefore generally, practically, ammeters will have very less resistance, and ideally speaking ammeter should have 0 resistance. And in the circuit, ammeter is always connected in series. In the circuit, I am telling, in the circuit ammeters are connected in series. Say for example, if you want to measure the current through a particular resistor, and you have to connect ammeter in series with that resistor, so that the current flowing will be measured. So you have to connect the ammeters in series. ammeters in series in electrical circuit, since the resistance of the ammeter does not appreciably add to the resistance of the circuit. Okay, so that is one important thing. It has to measure the current. Ammeter is always connected in series. That is one thing. Now coming to the other point, see this one. A moving coil galvanometer can be converted into voltmeter by connecting a high resistance in series with it. See, this is the galvanometer, and this galvanometer, and here we have got the resistance. Galvanometer and this is high resistance in series. These two things put together, that means a galvanometer in series with high resistance, these two things put together will behave as a voltmeter. See, you know that voltmeter basically is a device which measures the voltage drop, potential difference. So therefore, to measure the potential difference, it should have very high resistance. So therefore, galvanometer can be converted into voltmeter by connecting a high resistance in series with it, exactly opposite to that of ammeter. So now what happens? What is the current flowing through the galvanometer? That is Ig. Ig is the current flowing through the galvanometer. Ig into G, that is the potential drop across the galvanometer. Same current flows through the resistor also, because this galvanometer and resistor both are connected in series. So therefore, same current flows through the resistor also. So therefore, the total potential drop across both galvanometer and this resistor is V is equal to Ig into R plus G, because see, Ig into G, that is the potential drop across the galvanometer, Ig into R is the potential drop across the resistor. So therefore, V is equal to Ig into R plus Ig into G, or you can write it as R plus G is equal to V by Ig, or R is equal to V by Ig minus G. Here R is the resistance, high resistance, that you are supposed to connect in series with galvanometer to convert the galvanometer into voltmeter. R is the high resistance supposed to be connected in series with galvanometer to convert the galvanometer into voltmeter. V is the voltage to be measured, maximum voltage to be measured. Ig is the maximum current flowing through the galvanometer. Observe this, if V is the maximum voltage to be measured, Ig is the maximum current that can flow through the galvanometer, and G is not the galvanometer, G is the resistance of the galvanometer. Please remember, G is the resistance of the galvanometer. R is equal to V by Ig minus G. So that is one important thing. So the effective resistance of the voltmeter is R plus G, because galvanometer and resistor both are connected in series. The ideal resistance of the resistance of the ideal voltmeter is infinity. Practically, the voltmeters will have very high resistance compared to the other components in the electrical circuit. Voltmeter is always connected in parallel across the points where the potential difference is to be measured. That means if you have a resistor, in parallel to the resistor you are supposed to connect a voltmeter, so that you are measuring potential difference between the 2 points across any 2 points. Therefore, you have to connect the voltmeter in parallel to the resistor, or in parallel to the points where the potential difference is to be measured. So this is the important points about the voltmeter. See, very simple. Galvanometer, if you want to convert galvanometer into ammeter, connect a very low resistance in parallel with it. That low resistance is called shunt, and that is given by Ig into G divided by I minus Ig. Second point, if you want to convert the galvanometer into voltmeter, because you are measuring voltage drop, potential drop, if you want to convert the galvanometer into voltmeter, then you connect a very high resistance in series with galvanometer, and the very high resistance that has to be connected in series with the galvanometer to convert the galvanometer into voltmeter is given by the formula R is equal to V divided by Ig minus G. So, and you know, these are the important points related to that. Okay, now check this one. Difference between ammeter and voltmeter. See that it is a device used to measure the current in a circuit. It is a device used to measure the potential drop between the 2 points. it is always connected in series in a circuit. Ammeter is always connected, voltmeter is always connected in parallel. Ideal ammeter, zero resistance. Ideal voltmeter, infinite resistance. The range of an ammeter can be increased by connecting a low resistance. Suppose if you have a ammeter of range 0 to 5 ampere. If you want to increase from 0 to 5 ampere to 0 to 10 ampere. If you want to increase the range from 0 to 5 to 0 to 10, just connect one more shunt. So ammeter becomes another ammeter of higher range. So similarly, voltmeter can be converted into another voltmeter of higher range by connecting a very high resistance. Again one more resistance. Voltmeter will be there already, and if you want to increase the range of the voltmeter, connect a high resistance. Think that voltmeter as a galvanometer, and then again connect a high resistance. So therefore you will convert the galvanometer into voltmeter of smaller range to the voltmeter of higher range. That's it. And if you want to convert ammeter into voltmeter, connect a very high resistance in series with it, because just think ammeter is like a galvanometer. And if you want to convert voltmeter into what is that voltmeter can be converted into voltmeter by connecting a low resistance, here it should be voltmeter can be converted into ammeter. This one, this letter should be ammeter, by connecting a low resistance in parallel with it. Exactly ulta. So dear students, today I think the concepts are very simple, and these simple concepts, just go through that. Even though it is simple, it is important. So just ammeter, conversion of galvanometer into ammeter. Importantly, you have to learn here. See that this is a galvanometer of resistance capital G, and this is the shunt. If you want to convert the galvanometer into ammeter, and see that you have to connect a low resistance in parallel with it. Low resistance in parallel with it, and that is given by Ig into G divided by I minus Ig. And see that what is Ig? Please understand, if I is the maximum current to be measured, Ig is the maximum current flowing through the galvanometer. That's it, very simple. If I is the maximum current to be measured, and therefore Ig is the maximum current flowing through the galvanometer. And next one, yes, here see that voltage drop. This galvanometer and resistor in series put together behaves as a voltmeter, and therefore the voltage to be measured is V, and the current flowing through the galvanometer is Ig. So if V is the maximum voltage, Ig should be the maximum current, no doubt. So therefore V by Ig minus G, R is the resistance. So therefore dear students, by this we have come to the end of this chapter. From the next session onwards, we will concentrate on numericals. Until then, have a nice time. Bye.